Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CENMAC's Thursday 30 in this special morning edition because we are welcoming Luke Fieldman from Australia. So welcome to this morning edition, and obviously a lot of people will probably be watching this back. So yeah, I'm excited for Luke to be sharing his app, Jimple, to our community, and I think I'll just hand over to you, Luke, so that you can
Thank you
share
very
with
much,
everybody.
Catherine. Yeah, fantastic. All right, are we recording this? Yep, it's all good. Excellent. Okay. Look, my name is Luke Feldman, and yeah, I'm one of the co-founders of Jimple. We've been developing this product over the last 2 years, and we've just brought it to light, probably launched it about a month and a half ago. And we're really, really happy at how the feedback and the usage is going. And I'm really excited to share this with you guys today. Now, there will be time at the end to ask me questions, but please feel free to just jump in and ask me a question as I'm going along. A little bit of a backstory. The challenge that we're seeing, and with a lot of the communities, families, parents, whether or not professionals, speech pathologists, people like yourself, there's a challenge. And the challenge today is if you go to AAC software and do a Google search, this is sort of what you get. You know, these are the standard platforms. They've been around for many, many years. You know, they have been able to help people improve, but there are some issues and opportunities to make it better for people. Today's audiences have changed, right? You know, we are mobile, we're digital, and, you know, we have a higher expectations. And for those people that have communication difficulties, the same thing goes for them. You know, with the existing platforms, there's a few key areas that we see where we can improve. And this is what we've done. Learning curve, you know, looking at some of these AAC platforms, they can get quite complex. And I've noticed a couple of them, if you have to download an additional app, which is instructions, you know you're starting to go to that level of complexity. And it's complex not only for the user, the parent and the carer, but also the medical professional, setting it up, maintaining it. I have a person that's using Jimple at the moment for their son, and they were using a traditional AAC. The mum had spent hours and hours and hours setting it up on the iPad, and the son locked the iPad and they lost all of the setup. So it was gone. So she's been using, her son's been using Jimple now for about a month and absolutely loves it. Lack of adaptability. You know, the systems that currently exist, you know, you create the packs, you create the keys. Once that person gets to that point in the language, you either add more keys or you change the language or you change the pack. So it doesn't evolve with users' needs, and that sort of reduces the effectiveness over time. And then the third point is inefficient communication. Now, what I mean by that is, if you look at these types of systems, you're pressing lots of keys to create a sentence to express yourself. Now, where this has been a frustration in the communities is where I'm having a conversation with someone, I'm using AAC, but what's happening is the conversation changes like we do in normal conversation, and I've missed the opportunity because I'm still trying to find the keys and type. And it's a cause of massive frustration for users. Now, we have a solution, and the solution is Jimple. Now, I have 4 key areas, and I guess for those people that may have heard me speak previously, but in the time of about a month, we've had some massive jumps in the technology and platform, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. But there's 4 key areas. One is a simplified visual language. We've been developing the visual language and the icons and how they work and how they overlay with each other for quite a few years, and tested it throughout massive user groups and had really, really good comprehension. But it also allows the ability to really supercharge self-expression, and I'll go into that a little bit more detail later. The other thing about Jimple is it's adaptive. Now, what this means is the experience that I have as a user is different to, say, the experience that Annabelle might have as a user. I really love coffee. The system can evolve based on topics and my interests, which will be different for Annabelle. Now, this also means my ability and my cognitive ability can also change the language, and it can evolve based on my abilities. Then you've got efficient communication. Now, we've got an AI that can understand what's going on and allows me to press minimal amount of keys to create a full natural sentence. So I don't have to press 12 keys, I can press 2 and then it creates a sentence for me. And then we have something that's just come out, which is super, super exciting, which is called Call Aid. Now, what Call Aid allows a user to do is I can actually create a message and say, please call the dentist using Jimple, and our bot will make a phone call to the dentist and actually speak to the dentist to organise an objective, which for me was, I can't make the dentist appointment next Tuesday. Could you please change it to Wednesday? So we actually have a voice bot that will do that, which is really, really cool. Now, how does Jimple work? The interface looks like this. Really, really simple. There's two ways to use Jimple. One is the little microphone, which is in the middle bottom that you see there. Person speaks to me and it records what they're saying to me. So, hey, what would you like to eat in this example? Now, I can quickly press keys to make a response. Now, I don't have to create a whole sentence. In this little picture here, I've done burger and fries. Now, what happens is our AI creates a natural sentence and speaks it, which is, I would like a hamburger and chips. Now, there's a couple of things here which is making it life massively more simple for users. I don't have to press all the keys. I can press 1 or 2 keys and it creates a natural sentence. So now I can be more efficient and be a part of the conversation with my group. Now, how can Jimple be used? There's 3 key ways. One is in person. So, you know, I'm sitting down with someone else, I'm at a coffee shop with someone else, I'm speaking to my parents, and it can interact like I said before. I can also initiate conversations, so you don't have to be recording, but I can create stories. The other 2 ways are new and are coming down the line. The first one is phone call. Now, what this allows me to do is I can call my mum through Jimple, and by pressing the keys, it will speak to my mum for me, and I can hear my mum talking, which is a whole new way to allow people to communicate and to make it more inclusive. And then you've got the voice agent, which I mentioned just before, which is I can now say, please call the doctor and book an appointment for me next week, Tuesday, 3 p.m. And it will actually speak to them and organise and facilitate that conversation. Who can use Jimple? You know, lots of people with communication challenges will benefit from using Jimple. Here is some of them, but you know, we've got quite a few users that have autism children, and they're able to now communicate more freely and openly with their parents, but also with their peers and community. If you've got hearing impairment, again, because of the multimodal approach where I can see, I can visualize, I can press on the keys, it makes it much easier for people with hearing impairment. Learning disabilities, social anxiety, aphasia, cognitive impairment, these are all places and users where Jimple can help them communicate and be a part and more inclusive. Now, what can you do with Jimple? Okay, you know, I can, in its most basic form, I can use it to communicate with my family. I can easily communicate with my parents, and it's nice and simple. If I'm ordering at a cafe, booking a movie, checking in at a hotel, ordering food, all of these sort of interactions that able-bodied people take for granted can be a challenge for people with communication issues. Now, I can use my iPad or my Android device, a tablet, or I can use my mobile phone. So the platform is available on iOS and Android. What are our users saying? You know, one thing that I'm really proud of and where we're going, and just getting this feedback from our users is amazing. To be able to say that you're changing the environment and making it much more simple for these people is really, really cool, and it shows that we're heading in the right direction. And a little bit about our roadmap, just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek on what's coming down the line. Omnifunctional communication. Now, I've been sort of chatting about that and talking about different chatbots and being able to actually get someone to facilitate a task and complete it. But we've also got sign language coming down, so people can actually record sign language. It can translate that into text or to speak it. Send and receive SMSs, task automation, offline capability. There's all these other cool things that are coming down the line for us, which is really, really exciting as we go on this journey. Now, that is all I have to present to you guys, and I'd love to sort of put it out. Now, I think there was a little chat in here that I didn't see. Oh, no, that's okay. I'd love to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Thanks very much. I think it is quite exciting. Really interesting now that we've got AI and integrating into some of the technologies that we're using, and yeah, it's quite exciting. I look forward to trialing it with some of our young people.
I sent around the trial, you know, your details about the trials the other day.
Yes.
I know that Jana was very keen to trial it, and she couldn't make this meeting this morning, which is a shame because, but anyway, I'm sure she will try it out. And I know Teresa was also asking me about it the other day, so hopefully she's, you know, put the trial version on her device now as well. I guess it just takes a while for people to, you know, get the time to start doing it.
Yeah, and look, I guess from our perspective too, you know, we are in Australia, but we're available. So happy to chat to people or jump on a quick call like this if they have any questions about it. It's really simple. If you go to the website, jimple.io, you've got all the instructions. You just click on it, you download it from the App Store, and away you go. You just got to fill in the details, sign in, and you're good to go. But look, you know, really keen, and one of the things that we wanted to do with you guys is obviously you are the experts. You deal with people that have communication challenges, and we really want to help get it out there and also get feedback from you guys as well to make the platform better. For us, you know, really right now in Australia, in New Zealand, we're also looking a little bit into the US, but we're all about taking on feedback, iterating with what we're doing to really sort of tighten it up and make it, you know, best of class in terms of communication.
And Luke, who's using it at the moment? Is it mainly young people with autism, or you've got a range?
Great question. Yeah, great question, Catherine. So we actually have a range. We've got 3 key segments at the moment. We've got young kids around the ages of sort of like 6 to 12. Got quite a large cohort using that because, you know, they're tech savvy and they use this type of thing. Teenagers, there's a big group of those that are using that as well because they think it's cool. And we've also got a growing cohort that are actually older. So, you know, seniors where, you know, communication, they have their iPad, you know, seniors have these iPads that they're using. So, you know, whether or not they might be dementia, aphasia, those sort of conditions where I still need to be able to communicate and I want to keep it simple. They're the sort of 3 key areas that we're seeing quite a bit of growth and interest.
And I mean, quite interesting because obviously it speeds up communication.
Certainly does.
And I wondered what, you know, have you had any sort of older people who use a power-based AAC give feedback on what they think about the app?
So I have a really good quote and a story. It's not a senior, but I'll give it to you anyway because it's very, very cool. So when we first launched this, we put it out to a cohort of families with kids around the age of 12. And quite a few of them, we did an update to the app, which meant that the app wasn't accessible to them. And one in particular, Archer, went back to his mum on his old AAC and said, I want the AAC AI app back to his mum on the old one. So look, the feedback so far has been overwhelmingly positive. Like just the speed and being inclusive rather than, missing out on the opportunities in conversation. It's a big frustration for users. Like it really is. So, we're always trying to make it faster and more effective. And, even now it's only taking a couple of seconds to write a response as opposed to a couple of minutes. So you can actually be a part of that conversation. There's also some interesting things just to give you a little bit of insight, guys. This picture that you see on the screen now, we've got a simple function which is double tap or multi-tap. So you can tap again, tap again, tap again. Now, in terms of food, if I tap on a food, say a fish, and then I tap on a fish again, it means 2 fish. If I tap on it again, it's 3, and then it cycles back to 1. So you've got a little cycle there that's very quick for me to add more of. In emotions, if you click on happy, it goes to very happy, and then you click on it again, it goes to super happy. So now you've got this way to have that nuance of communication and emotion. And then we have another little aspect, which is in the bottom corner, you'll see, you may not be able to see it here, but in the bottom corner, there's a little commit button, which means I create a message and it goes green and I click on it and it creates like an SMS. Okay. Now, if you hold on to that button, it actually changes it so you can be more sarcastic, more happy, or more angry in your response. So now you can actually add a little bit of humor or a little bit of seriousness to the response as well, which is what we're calling a flavor on top. These things are all about making it more accessible and more inclusive and more expression.
Yeah, it's a nice feature. I know a lot of the students I work with really enjoy using sound effects and different things on their communication apps. So yeah, I think that's nice to be able to change the way it sounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
also,
look,
I think it's
yes.
a nice model, isn't it? For young children who are learning their literacy. They're getting modelled the sentence structure. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And, I didn't mention it, but you do bring up a very valid point. It's interesting, because if you've got, say, a child that has only a limited vocabulary, the question of how do you improve that vocabulary? How do you give them access to it? Now, the one thing that we're doing here and where we're wanting to be different is because the platform can evolve over time, it can also adapt to the ability of that user. So, concepts of mummy, daddy, as a child gets a little bit older, it goes to mum, dad. Our platform can evolve over time. So, you can actually make it easier to adapt for that child and also drive more longer term use and ease of use.
So how would you change, so if it came up with a style that you didn't, or words that you wouldn't normally use, how would you change that?
So you can customize the keyboard and you can also change labels and those sort of things as well. You can also add your own images, your own language. You can add friends, family, all those sort of traditional AAC type values. We are bringing out a feature. So the AI and how we're training it, it's unbelievably good. Like it's really, really good. But you bring up a point which is, okay, I'm doing something that's maybe not the right thing. So we are allowing the functionality that in this scenario of I would like a burger and chips, the users will be able to have 3 options and they can select which one makes more sense, which is slightly different, which then also trains the platform on them and how they feel. So doing that is almost like adding a little bit of a weighted value to how I communicate.
Yeah, interesting, because I was just thinking about cultural differences and how AI would just, does it pick it up per where you're logging in from, or?
Yes.
So,
Well, yes, it does it on quite a few different levels. So where we'll be rolling this out, upcoming updates, you'll be able to speak any language. So if you're speaking to me Japanese and I am the user and I speak in English, it'll translate it. I can write and then it'll translate that to Japanese. We're going to have over 120 different languages. So, you know, as a communication device, even for travel, something like Jimple is amazing, right? Because it can just accept and then translate for the user as well. So the AI and how we're training it, you know, obviously English is the first language that we've started with. But in terms of other languages and how they integrate, and, you know, Japanese and reading from right to left and, you know, those sort of things, it's very, very effective.
yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We're
No, look,
interesting. We're just about to start a project with students, talking to students in Holland. And we were talking about the use of like translation apps and things like that to show them how to use some of that technology. So yeah, maybe this could be something we could trial with them.
Yeah, look, please keep me informed because the language translation will be coming in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know, Annabelle and Catherine, we've spoken a couple of times before, but even since the last time we spoke, which was a couple of weeks ago, now we've got the functionality to call people and, you know, do the facilitation of the bots. We are running at a frenetic pace, which is exciting, right? But you know, it's evolving and we're taking on the feedback, and this is the journey. This is what you need to do to be able to do this properly. You know, you can't sort of deploy something and just hope it'll be A-OK. It's all about the user and the feedback.
Yeah. Oh, exciting. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else has got any questions on the call.
I do see Maureen typing something.
Feel free to unmute.
I might as well just talk.
Yeah.
I'm literally just going to say I've got to leave, but that is so impressive. I really, really enjoyed that, and you presented it so well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Look, I hope that you guys can, you know, I guess, you know, we're all aligned in terms of our vision about helping people with learning difficulties. And I guess, you know, we want to help you guys and help your community. So anywhere where we can help, we want to be a part of it.
Oh, it's definitely the way of the future, isn't it?
Look, it is. It really is. In terms of making it more inclusive for users, 100%. Well, I guess in that case, if there's no other questions, I mean, I'm not going to keep you guys. I'll let you to your day, knowing that it is the end of my day.
Luke, if people are watching, and probably they'll be watching it back, and they wanted to get Jimple, do they just go to your website to download it?
Sure can. Yep. Sure. Yep. You'll just go to the website. It's got the instructions there, and you can go to the Android store or the iOS store from that website. You'll be prompted to download the app, and then all you have to do is fill in the details, which is like your name, email address, and a password, and that will get you in. And we've set it up for you guys that you've got 30 days free access, so you've got like a 30-day free trial, and you're good to go.
Brilliant. And then what cost is it after that?
It is $35 per month per user, and now that is US, so I believe that it's around 20-something pounds.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the current exchange rate at the moment is. But look, I think just as a side note for CENMAC and what you guys are doing, we're open to having conversations with you where we can sort of, if you know, there's a bulk discount, we're happy to have that conversation as well.
Sorry, Bear, what did you say? $25.95.
Oh, thank you very much. There we go. So look, I'm happy to pick up the conversation with whoever it might be to organise, you know, some licenses for a larger group.
Yeah. And if anyone's watching, Luke is also going to be online at Communication Works, which is our annual event at Charlton Athletic Stadium, on the 6th of June. So yeah, sign up for that free, and then Luke will be there as part of that event online.
I certainly will be.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll let you go have dinner or go to bed or
Just
what
dinner.
time?
It's only 5:30. It's only
5:30. Oh, not so
I'd be
bad.
going to
then.
bed very early if I was going to be doing that.
Yeah, I will have
But thank you
a
very
lovely
much, guys.
evening then.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Luke.
Good to see you.
Okay, we'll chat soon. See ya.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.